season, but just been spectacular. 10 for 10 so far in the playoffs. You know, and Tony, he reminds me of a young golfer who doesn't have any battle scars yet. He just doesn't know what he doesn't know, and he's so good.
It's for the lead now with 6 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. 52 yards away. Can he do it from 52 again? This kick is good.
Oh, Jay, he didn't have any scars coming in, and that was close to gaining one, but right there, big-time kick. That's what you got to do to send your team to the possible Super Bowl.
21 unanswered, and the lead for the Bengals. 2-0, but it's been since '88. 21 unanswered. To get to the Super Bowl back then, they had to beat Fouts and Kelly. Now trying to take up Mahomes. Doing it with their quarterbacks, Ken Anderson and Boomer Esiason. State Farm post-game show is coming up. JB, Phil, Nate, and Boomer, and Coach Carroll. Their take on this game, plus we're going to have the presentation on the field of the Lamar Hunt Trophy to the AFC champion. It's coming up on the State Farm post-game show. Quick toss. Hardman slides away from one hit. Has a gain of 4. Hubbard brings him down.
Joe Burrow sitting there right now, your whole life. You get a chance to go to the Super Bowl. A dream, but right there, that guy, you see those eyes we looked at before? These are pretty strong eyes too, Jim. That's the guy you're standing right there you got to go through. You should have something to say about this before it's over.
His eyes aren't believing what he's been seeing in this second half as Kelsey has the catch. Apple on him quickly.
Weirdly, these are kind of stuff where it's almost like you just don't realize it, but there's a chance Burrow never touches the ball again. Obviously, they can get 3 plays here and get the ball back, but there's a really good chance that this quarterback can take this team down and almost end this game under 30 seconds.
Tyreek Hill does not have a catch in this second half. It's in the slot to the left. On first down. Kelsey. He loves that spin around move. And it gives him an extra couple of yards with Pratt taking him to the turf. I give him 8.
There's just a part of me that understands the way we've played. I mean, give Lou Anarumo credit. Unbelievable job in this second half, the adjustments and stuff, but a lot of it is that they've seen a lot of the stuff and their players are playing faster and more efficient and getting those tip balls, kind of the stuff going their way. But there's going to come a point here in about 30 seconds to a minute that I would start to get more aggressive. If you're going to give up a touchdown.
That's McKinnon. Picks up 1.
I believe right here, it's really smart. Kansas City, you know, if you get the big play, you get it. But what they're playing, you're going to keep it underneath, run the ball. You could take this all the way down and never let Burrow touch it again.
Exactly the flip of the script.
Correct.
You saw week 17.
100%. And to me, that's why Lou, right there, I'm getting really aggressive on certain down and distance. It's like you're not going to give up a touchdown per se, but you got to be aggressive at least to get the ball back to your quarterback to have a chance to go down and score.
They're 0 for 4 on third down in this half.
This is a risky defense right here. This is the aggressive one. 3rd and 1, I don't know if I would do it here. I was thinking more on the next one.
Open is Kelsey. And he's at the 38-yard line. Wide open. Good for 18.
Well, you saw Kelsey do this exact same thing. A little different formation. But watch right here. Kelsey, hey, do it, Kelsey. Do it, Kelsey. That's what Mahomes said. Just run right up there. No chance. Oh, just to play a soft zone. Can't do that. Now's where I get aggressive, Jim.
Inside. 3 minutes to go. Mahomes, 4 for 4 on this drive. He hands it off to Hardman, who, as we heard, was calling for the football on the sideline, and he picks up 9.
Yeah, and if you're the Bengals, you wanted him to get out of bounds there. Kansas City, how about this? Over 12 minutes to go in the game, and when Burrow walked out there, if I told you Burrow's going to get 1 shot, Mahomes is going to get one shot. Here it is. This is the drive, and this is the drive. You just didn't feel like that when he was out there with 12, 13 minutes to go. But here it is right there, shaping up that way.
Hendrickson is not on the field for this snap, nor the last one. The man who provides the most pressure in the backfield.
Coming after him, no Kelsey in the game.
2nd and 1, McKinnon. He stutter-stepped and waited for it to open up. And he's down to the 15-yard line. Pringle on that side helped patrol and free him up with a block.
What a great read. You see the internal pressure.
Get Mahomes running with him.
I know. This guy's got those. Mahomes is like, I can keep up with you for a little bit, but not anymore. McKinnon gets going, and that was actually, I would have taken a timeout if I was Cincinnati here. I'd go to 2 minutes. I wouldn't snap the ball if I'm Kansas City.
Yeah, they don't have to. On a split second, they could take it all the way down. Mahomes, no doubt, wise to that.
Just try and draw him offside.
Tony, after last week's 4 games, the football gods were going to even this up, right? There was not going to be any more close games.
No, this one's not close. Mahomes, Super Bowl. Oh.
You're what? And the Chiefs have it 1st and 10 at the Bengals 15.
Well, this whole second half has kind of gone the Bengals' way. The ball bounced the way they want it. But Mahomes has a way of overcoming a lot of those things. But is it the Bengals' day, or is Mahomes just too good?
Here he's looking, and now coming out of the pocket, being chased and being shoved out by Hendrickson, and stops the clock with 1:53. Again, they have been blanked in the second half after only managing a field goal in their matchup a month ago in the second half. He picked up 4 on that run.
Mahomes has never been shut out in a second half of a playoff game, and I don't think he's going to be shut out here. I think they're going to at least have a field goal.
2nd and 6. Looking, wanted to take off. That got shut off. The door was closed. Looking for another opening. Look at all these moves back to the 24-yard line, and Hendrickson is there, trying to knock the ball out. All of that for no gain.
Well, he got close.
Well, look, they actually spotted it.
Yeah, no, he got, yeah.
They picked up 4 yards.
It just looked like he ran for 100. But at the end, I mean, that was huge because now you're in another situation.
Still going to be 3rd and 3. Going to be 3rd and 3. Look at that effort, though. We'll call it 2. Hendrickson had to come out.
Oh, I mean, the effort he gave there, right?
Oh, he's in pain.
Evan had told us.
3rd and 2. 1:38 to go. Toss it inside, and they pitch it to Kelsey, and the spot's going to be good enough for the first.
Got to take a timeout. This is exactly the worst-case scenario for the Bengals. This is why I thought they should have been aggressive to start that drive. If they get down here, you can hold them. But now it's a 1st down. You have 1 timeout left. And if, you're the Chiefs, you can do whatever you want. 3 timeouts.
Got the State Farm postgame show coming up. JB, all the crew on hand here in Kansas City. And they'll be talking about this one and all of these crucial snaps to come, plus the presentation of the Lamar Hunt Trophy to the AFC champion. It's all coming up on the State Farm postgame show. Now we're starting to look like the end of the first half when Kansas City was down close. That did not work out for them.
To me, what's happening, I mean, in these playoff games, how close these games are all, getting at the end. This is a testament to the NFL, the league, and the quarterbacks in this league and the talent level of these young players. There's so much depth at that position that it's hard to kind of separate because these guys are so good. They get their team back in it. I think you're in for an incredible run over this next 5-10 years of these quarterbacks and seeing they just switch it up back and forth.
No Hendrickson on the field. The 11th play of this drive, and it's 1st and goal. And it's a running play with McKinnon. He was stopped. Give him 1, maybe.
So there's a scenario that comes up that says let him score, right?
Timeout called by Cincinnati.
There's also a scenario for Kansas City as Cincinnati's out of timeouts. Kansas City has a scenario that says down it at the 1, go down. Now, this is that rare situation where it's right in between. It's like you got to score right when it's there.
We're going to perfectly time when we score the winning touchdown, is what you would say they're thinking.
Well, my thought is there's a time where it's like, okay, it's so low, it doesn't matter, score, right? But if you had 2 minutes and 20 seconds, you'd rather get it under 2. They have no timeouts. To me, I'd run the ball here. I hate to say it. I might go one more play and get it down to the inch-yard line and have your running back just go down. And if it gets in accidentally, okay. But it's very risky.
What about the strategy from Cincinnati's standpoint?
That they could say score. No, you're trying to stop him here. Cincinnati's 100% trying to stop him. It's just a rare case when you're like, we just want one more crack at it because this is our best player.
Second and goal. Mahomes still has it. After a great fake. Now being chased. He's in trouble, and he's tripped up back at the 8-yard line. Hubbard with the sack.
Really smart. I don't know. I don't love that one. That one's interesting here. There's so many scenarios right here. It's like they're trying to score. You got to score. But I don't love taking the sack there.
You got a 3rd and goal at the 9 now.
Well, the percentages are on any defense out there. This is a really low percentage from the 9 when they know. But he's going to motion them back in. And you're going to have a chance to take a timeout.
Timeout, Chiefs.
Oh, man.
39 seconds. And Cincinnati, on that play, DJ Reader kind of disrupted things that it led to a 3rd sack. If I would have told you before the game that the Bengals defense would out-sack the Chiefs, you wouldn't have believed it, but it's 3-1.
It is, and it's part of the reason they're here right now. I mean, I don't know. It's almost like, let's pretend Mahomes was on the other side, Jim, and there was 1:30 to go, and you had 2nd down. You would score 100% and give it back to him with 1:30?
Boy, that's a tough call
right?
At this point.
I'm saying I get it. Burrow's younger and everything, but it's like really close. I guess it goes by the game and how you are on defense, but we're at this point now. So obviously they need to score a touchdown here. The number one thing, though, is no turnovers, right? Your season ends right here, Kansas City, with a sack, fumble, an interception. So you have to be smart with the ball. And Mahomes is usually really good at that. He'll move around and make a play. I'm anxious to see what kind of design they do. Do they get spread out a lot, or do they get tight to the line of scrimmage?
3rd and goal. Kelsey, so tough in this spot, and a slot to the right. He's got protection.
Too much time. You can't do that.
All the way back to the 21. Now they chase him. Spins around, and the ball's out. It was recovered, though, by Tooney. It was Hubbard who forced it, and now you got to make a longer field goal. A loss of 17 to tie it.
This is an unbelievable job coming flying in by Hubbard. He's not even rushing. He's a spy just in case he goes, but he comes flying in and doesn't get juked by Mahomes. Hubbard with the play.
They called the timeout at 2 seconds.
The play.
But how about how this suddenly became a much longer ask of Harrison Butker? You've taken him back to the 26. I mean, going to be a 44-yard attempt. Of course, he made the 49-yarder last week at the end of regulation to send it to overtime. Can he do it? 2 straight weeks?
They were going to find out. Do you see? How about the time on that? Initially, I'm like, 3-man rush. He's going to stand there for 8 days, and then Hubbard times it perfectly. Burrow's like, why? Oh, we left him all day. And how about the fumble? They almost had the ball and won and went to the Super Bowl.
Well, now, Butker, to keep their season alive, to give us back-to-back overtime games at Arrowhead.
Tougher than inside the 10, right?
A miss, and it's Cincy to L.A. From 44 yards, Butker, can he do it again? Can he tie it in regulation? And yes, he can!
Wow, both quarterbacks got one crack at it at the 15 minutes and you both go down and kick a field goal. What else is new? Let's go to the second half.
And now we're going to go.
The second half goes to the second half to the fourth half every week. I swear, we go to overtime. We get a whole nother quarter of football.
What a fearless kick by Butker. They didn't even watch it.
It got a lot tougher, too. I mean, they just gave up 20 yards, 30 yards right there in the last two plays.
The Chiefs' only points of the second half come with no time left on the clock. And now you can look at the overtime rules. You know, folks, we've all been down this road all week long. It's gotten so much discussion about the postseason overtime rules. And I will tell you this. After a first possession, walk-off touchdown last week by the Chiefs, when they won the toss, there have been 11 such postseason overtimes since the rules were changed.
Gentlemen.
Let's listen in.
We'll continue to play. We are going to start a new game. Both teams will have 3 timeouts. Both teams will have an opportunity to possess the ball unless the first team scores a touchdown or there's a defensive score. All replays are upstairs. Any questions? Cincinnati, you are still the visitors. What is your call?
Oh, you see what he did there, Jim? He just put his cape on. Superman's walking back
now
out.
The cape comes off. I was going to finish this, though. There have been 11 of these occasions in the postseason. The team that won the coin flip is 10-1. with 7 of them being first possession touchdown wins.
You're exactly right. That's too extreme. And that, to me, it's because you got the top quarterbacks are playing in the postseason, and that's just an advantage. But Cincinnati's only given up 3.5 points of football in 2 halves of football against the Chiefs. The last second half in Week 17 and then here tonight. But can they stand up with the Super Bowl on the line?
And no team, you saw, that's a good one. No team has ever won in the postseason back-to-back overtime games. This offense was on the field for the last 6 minutes of the regulation. And it began with a dangerous throw over the head of Robinson.
That wasn't really Mahomes. That was Hendrickson jumping up and making him have to throw over. So right when he's about to throw it, he had to be safe and get it over that hand. Can't have another tip ball interception.
It's the 3rd AFC Championship game to go to overtime, the one we discussed earlier. Indianapolis, New England, 06. New England and Kansas City 3 years ago on this field. 2nd and 10. Pass almost intercepted. Eli Apple jumped the route.
Oh, Robinson doesn't
the game.
Robinson doesn't get his head around. It's a slant. Mahomes throws it, but this ball, it should be over. It should be over. Apple sends the Bengals to the Super Bowl. You should have just said right here. No one touched it. You'll never have an easier walk-off touchdown. Wow, the Bengals. Oh, Eli really wants them to get a stop on this play.
The last time this franchise was in such a position, Lewis Billups dropped a very similar chance at a pick, and the next play, Montana beat him with a touchdown pass to Taylor. And now they go deep down the field, and it is intercepted on the rebound by Bell. On Bell. Oh, he is clobbered, clotheslined at the 45. But they take over. The Bengals with the 3rd straight game in the playoffs where they come up with a crucial pick.
They're
at
not
the end.
Underdogs anymore. Bell, this season, wow, unbelievable. He's only been targeted twice in pass coverage in the playoffs. You can see why right there.
Look at Jesse Bates reach in with Hill.
That's the play. It's perfect technique. Bates actually makes the play. Bell comes down with it. But Bates, wow, perfectly timed. No PI. Maybe sending the Bengals now. Wow, McPherson, he's going to have something coming here.
Yeah, you need at this point, you probably need just inside of 20 yards. And that's live in Cincinnati. Bates deflected it. Bell, there's 2 safeties teaming up. Hill blanked since halftime, not a catch. First down throw. And that's Higgins. There's Mixon to make sure he's right there around that football. If it were to come out, gain of 9.
I love the aggressiveness by Cincinnati. If I was Kansas City, I'd have liked to have seen a run right there, right? You're like, don't throw it on every down. And there's the kid.
He wouldn't say it again, would he? Walking out there, would he do that?
He said it at the end of last week's game, he walked out and he goes, I can't believe we're going to the AFC Championship game. He hadn't kicked this field goal.
He said it to Brandon Allen, the holder. Hey, can't believe we're going to the AFC Championship. Well, and he made it from 52. 2nd and 1. Mixon cuts outside, then slashes inside, and they've got a new set of downs at the 42. Higgins threw a nice block. That looked like it could be stopped for a loss. Instead, good for 4.
If I'm Zach Taylor, I'm telling offensive coordinator Brian Callahan, stay aggressive on 1st down. There's a tendency right here to get a little safe, hand it off, and have to kick a nice 57, 60 yards, and 52. Get in there, get another 1st down before you start to play.
Yeah, it's 60 from here. 1st down. Every yard is big. There's 2 more. He beat him once this year at the end of regulation. That was a chip shot from 20.
Let's find out if they decide to risk it. This is where you get really aggressive. Spagnuolo here. I think he's coming after him. You have a chance to throw a slant to Chase quickly and hit a home run. Get the ball in his hands fast.
2nd and 8, looking down the middle, and is pulled down. Great grab it was by Higgins. With all that attention over to Chase, Higgins has had a big game. He's just gone over 100 yards.
And we said it. He's the key. I love that he made the decision. The slant, instead of going to Chase his side, he goes to Higgins, which I think once they started doing that in this game, came right back to it.
8 yards in a first. 6 catches, 103. And definitely now in McPherson range. Stay safe here. 1st down.
I would actually be safe at this point. Hand it off, see if you can get 4 or 5 yards on this one.
It's Mixon. That's what they do. In fact, they get 7. They're starting to feel it. Well, they don't want to be called underdogs, but this team that had just 4 wins a year ago.
They're not underdogs. They're in the driver's seat. I mean, maybe the Bills were last week too, but this is the Bengals. I'm telling you, this is crazy. A few weeks back, we're about to say the Bengals might be going to the Super Bowl, and they just went and beat the number 1 team on the road and the number 2 team on the road.
They beat the number 1 seed. Now trying to beat the 2 seed on 2nd and 3. Mixon charging inside the 20. He's down to the 12.
Oh my goodness, the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl, Jim. They came into Arrowhead. What a run there. He's got a great burst. And really, I thought he had a chance to score there at the end.
As they'll tell you in Cincinnati, around that locker room, Mixon is the energy and emotion and heartbeat of our team in so many fourth quarter situations, but in overtime, ripping off some big runs here. Timeout called by Kansas City.
Well, this is where ball security, but just down it. Ooh, Andy Reid. This is genius. I think he's going to challenge.
30-second timeout.
Andy Reid might challenge, but I don't know if he can. Illegal formation, he can't do that.
Well, challenges Gene's territory have to come upstairs.
Yeah. Most definitely, Jim.
He's asking, though. I could tell.
All challenges upstairs, guys, and illegal formation is not a reviewable play.
Yeah, exactly right.
So he can have the conversation, but New York can't get involved, nor the replay official.
Would you just go ahead and kick it now, Tony? It'd be a 31-yarder.
Well, the only thing is you might want to move it to the center.
Okay.
So if you look, too many guys on the line, right? So that's 9 guys. How many you got? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys on the line? Yeah, can't do that. Can only have 7, so. I take that back. You can have 8 guys in the line. They just got to be legal there, and someone's covered someone up.
Jay Feely, if you were in this position, is a hash mark you'd prefer?
No, I think from here, I mean, he's having a conversation with his special teams coach, Darren Simmons, right now, and just asking him where he wants it. But from this perspective, there's not a lot of wind. The field conditions are great. It's not going to matter.
Hey, Gene, clarify the 8 guys on the line of scrimmage. They're just going to down this. Or they hand it off. It's a risk here, Jim.
1st and 10. Right up the middle. And holding with 2 hands, cradling it down to the 10. That's now 28-yard attempt from there.
You're right, Jim. I mean, I'm almost to the point of kicking it right now. I mean, if it doesn't matter what hash, I mean, all you're doing is the possibility of something fluky, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
you're 5 yards shorter than an extra point right now.
The other part is you want downs in case the snap. You got to save at least 1 down. You don't run it 3 times and kick it on 4th. So what happens all of a sudden, you know, somebody jumps, you get a false start, ball gets snapped. I mean, anything. There's a million things. The ball could slip. I mean, I've seen guys in the playoffs drop a snap before in a big situation.
Barely got that away in time, the snap. But he steps back 3 yards, downs it between the hashes, and now they'll bring out McPherson. Now let's just see if he happens to say anything here as confident as last week.
You missed my joke, though. I said I've seen guys drop a snap in the playoffs before in key situations. That's why you kick it.
I thought you were talking about from the line of scrimmage on a regular play. I know you're talking special teams.
No, I wasn't talking about this. This is why you kick it on 3rd down, though, because if it is a drop, all right, do it again.
Here we go. This could be a sentence that a month ago would sound incomprehensible. From 31 yards, McPherson, and Cincinnati is heading to the Super Bowl.
He called it again, I'm sure. He walked up and he goes, "Can you believe, Coach? We're going to the Super Bowl." And they did it. They beat Mahomes at home. Wow, Joe Burrow. No way. Only 2 quarterbacks have won an FBS national title game and a Super Bowl. And that's Joe Namath and Joe Montana. And Joe Burrow's trying to be the 3rd.
From 18 down, matching the biggest comeback victory in championship game history, AFC or NFC. This was just dead center. Shooter McPherson, fearless. And Cincinnati takes the AFC.
Shooter.
Perfect on the road, regular in post. 22 of 22 on the season, 4 for 4 today. And midway through the second quarter, you never would have imagined it.
That play at the end of the second quarter, it's the one he'll think about all off season.